Hi everybody, welcome back to another interesting video. The video today is interesting, the reason being the topic is interesting. Now, what's the topic? The topic is which we use in our daily life, maths. See, maths overall we learn it as a subject, and we also have to learn it to use it for our day-to-day activities. So the topic today is very interesting. It's called profit and loss. We normally learn this topic in class 7, 8. 8 is a maximum because we don't have that in Icse after class 8. So as we know, profit and loss. Profit, when do we get a profit? Suppose we buy something at a price and then we have an intention of reselling it again to another person. So the price at which we buy, that's called the cost price. The price at which we sell is called the selling price. When the selling price, when the selling price is greater than the cost price, we get a profit. But when the selling price is less than the cost price, we get a loss. So it's as simple as that, common sense. But to solve questions in the exam, we have to put in the formulas. There's a system of doing sums because you just can't do it randomly the way you want. There's a pattern, there's a system of doing the sums. So let's have a look at these formulas, then I'll show you a problem also how we have to solve. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Loss is obviously the other way around, cost price minus selling price. Profit as a percent is profit divided by cost price into 100. Loss percent is equal to loss divided by cost price into 100. The last four formulas are very important, will be helpful when you start solving the tougher questions. Selling price we can find out by the formula 100 plus profit percent over 100 into cost price. Selling price you can also find out by using 100 minus loss percent upon 100 into cost price. The same thing for cost price, it just gets flipped. You get 100 upon 100 plus profit percent into selling price, and cost price also is 100 upon 100 minus loss percent into selling price. Now please remember that loss and loss percent are two different things. Say I tell you, you make a loss of 10 rupees, that means you've actually made a loss of 10 rupees or a profit of 10 rupees, whatever it is. But a loss of 10 rupees and a loss of 10% is not the same. Let's clear that out. So you have to understand that. Let's take up a question and we try to work it out. Say I have a question that a person sells a watch. A person sells a watch. The selling price of a particular watch is given to me as, let's say, 500 rupees. Okay, and he sells it and he suffers a loss of, let's say, 10%. At what price should he sell it again? Okay, if he wants to make a gain of, let's say, 20%. I'll repeat the question, please understand. A person is selling a watch for rupees 500 and he's having a loss of 10%. At what price should he sell it to have a gain of 20%? So what we have to do, first from these two information, we'll try to find the cost price. So how do we find the cost price? Cost price, we have to find it using any of these two formulas. Because there's a loss given, so I'll be using this formula. So it's going to be 100 upon 90. 90 means 100 minus 10 because that was 10% into 500. Now what happens is, this is the random figure. So suppose you get answer in a fraction. 100 into 550 is 5000 by 9. You can keep this as it is. There's no need to work for this. Now you use this cost price and you use this gain percent to get your final answer. So the selling price here, the formula is 100 plus profit percent by 100 into cost price. So 100 plus 20 will be 120 by 100, and this is basically 5000 by 9. So if you start solving this, the two zeros are gone. You can reduce this with 3. 3 threes are 9, 40. So you are ultimately left with 2000 by 3. This you have to convert to decimals and you will get an answer. Normally, these were my imaginary figures, hence we got a decimal value as an answer. But when you take up questions from the textbook, which I'll show it to you in my next video as well, you will get a proper answer. My objective for today's video was to get you familiarized with these out of the box formulas, which are rarely used, but they are very helpful to solve this kind of a double stage word problem. Thank you very much.